So the next piece of that is a little bit more practical, and I want to talk about how I see this happen. So this is where we get into my concept of the sensual revolution. So many of us have probably heard of the sexual revolution. Obviously sounds fun, but what I want to add in is the concept of the sensual revolution, and it first and foremost has to do with coming back to our senses. Like it busted open a shell that had been blocking my senses, and I didn't even know it. I had had an idea that being connected to pleasure was bad somehow, even with no one really telling me that at church. I sort of like read between the lines that there was this part of me that craved beauty and pleasure and sex and really good food and really beautiful things and flowers and trips. And it was like, ooh, that's bad. Like, that's really bad. You are not a good like Christian girl if you want to go buy like a $300 dress at Anthropologie and go out to dinner by yourself and drink wine and then like fly to Paris for your birthday. Like, all of that stuff felt completely off limits. And it's not like I could do all of that the minute I got divorced, but I started inviting in pleasure. I started painting my nails. I started wearing earrings. I started wandering down like the beautiful walk home instead of the fastest way home. I would let myself linger over coffee in the morning. Everything from completely free stuff like wandering through a used bookstore with like no time limit or noticing the flowers that were blooming outside, all the way to some things that for me at the time felt really extravagant, like buying this really nice olive oil from this little Greek store in my neighborhood. You know, it was this process of engaging my senses and really coming to my senses, but in a completely different way than what, you know, my friends at church wanted me to. And it might feel random. It might feel like there is this kind of almost like superficial layer to all of this. And I want you to just allow those thoughts to be there. That's completely fine to be like, why would I do this? But I want you to underneath that see, is there any possibility that you just have a narrative that you're not allowed to have it? Because I did. I had this idea that it's just not for me. Like, I'm not good enough for it, or I don't deserve it, or maybe it's bad. The part of me that wants this is bad. And I wonder if you can just meet that voice with so much compassion. But what if you were allowed to have more than enough love, more than enough pleasure, more than enough everything? What would life feel like? Who would you be? This is actually the work of getting our intimacy in alignment, of letting our senses be part of guiding us home, part of guiding us toward more and more vulnerability and connection. And honestly, this is the sensual revolution. Because if we are part of this wave of unleashed women, of women who are connected to what we want and need, to our healing, to our selves, we become this new standard, this new example. We teach our daughters and our sons, our partners, our husbands, our friends, everyone watching us online. We teach everyone that it's safe to feel. It's safe to go through your life and feel everything. I can trust myself. I can feel the good. I can feel the bad. Those words even sort of stop meaning anything. I can feel the beautiful and I can feel the painful, and I can even see beauty and magic in some of the pain.